welcome to another edition of Black
and Blue.
This episode, Stop Signs. Yeah, and now in Michigan we have things called the Michigan Rolling Stop.
It's a thing.
It's actually a thing. Yeah, I'm not proud to say that, but it's a thing. So stop signs, limits. I mean, that's basically what we want to talk about this morning. Well, it's morning right now.
Yep.
You might be watching this video. It might be evening. I have no idea. But for us, it's morning. So yeah. So limits. So behind us is US 10. It's a pretty busy highway.
Yeah.
Speed limit 75 miles per hour. And I'm happy that we have that limit because people don't always obey that limit and push 85. But if there were no limits on US 10 or any road whatsoever, everything being like the Autobahn,
utter mayhem.
It would be chaos, like disaster. Lots of accidents, life flights. It would just be very, very, very bad. Limits, though, I mean, that's just part of being a creature.
Right.
It's part of being God's creature. I mean, we live within limits, whether we realize it or not.
Exactly.
I just think about just like I was born in the US of A.
Same here.
I wasn't born in Wakanda.
Forever.
Wakanda forever. This is the specific country that I was born in. And what other limits that just are just there?
Yeah. I mean, I need food. If I don't eat, I get hangry.
Yeah. And then you can get, and then even then you just can't just like stuff your face full of Cinnabon. Cinnamon rolls.
No, I get an upset tongue.
Yeah, I mean, I love those things. I grew up eating them. My mom would come home from her business trips with them because we didn't have, Cinnabon like in the area, so she'd get them from the airport. And I would just gobble those things up. Oh man. Yeah, so I can't just eat those morning, lunch, dinner, right? You can't do that.
Nope. Don't do that, please.
So we have limits there. I mean, we have to eat well. And just I think of like sports.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, my high school has a pretty good football program, and made it to states last year. And so like, but I was a tiny kid in high school. I was not going to play football. I'd be a ragdoll. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that. That would be that. I don't want to like have to ice my body every single practice and game. So I ran cross country. So I ran from football to run cross country. That was a little bit less contact.
Yeah. And I'm the shortest one in my family. So a basketball career, joining the WNBA, anything like that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. And like you're a Patron, right? I'm a Shion, so we have specific families that we're born into. Like I mean, that's a limit.
Exactly.
And it's and you think of just like the people I live around. I live on Ireland Street, so I have specific neighbors. I'm not a neighbor to everyone. Like it's not like the whole world like lives around me. That doesn't make sense.
Yep.
So we have limits, and that's what it means to be a creature of God. To have limits, really, and to live within those limits. Now, we have actually Papa Adam, Mama Eve, who learned what happens when you live outside those limits.
It wasn't good.
When they blow through the stop sign. Yeah. Papa Adam, Mama Eve, given the Garden of Eden, their garden home, and they could eat any fruit from any tree in the garden, except for
the one tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
And what happened with that?
Yeah. So the serpent Satan came in and tempted them to, if you eat this fruit, you'll be like God. So God put a limit on there. Just defy that limit. Defy gravity. And eat that fruit. And what happened, Pastor?
Well, I mean, they sank their pearly whites into that forbidden fruit, and now their breath reeked of forbidden fruit. Their eyes were opened, and they realized, we have transgressed. We have gone past our limits. We have sinned. We have sinned. And they ran from God because they were like, he's going to get us. He's going to do some lightning bolt Zeus action. Roast us. God found them, of course, because, you can't really. Hide and seek with God, it's a losing game for us.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't really work. Jonah tried too, right? That really didn't work for Jonah.
Yeah.
So God finds them, asks, "Where are you?" That was her
Mhm.
moment to confess, to own
Mhm.
up to, "Oh yeah, we were trying to be God. We were trying to
Mhm.
live outside our creaturely limits."
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, but they didn't do that. They threw each other under the bus,
Mhm.
and God didn't say, "Oh man, oy vey, it's time to just like burn this all to the ground and start
Mhm.
over." He
Mhm.
didn't do that.
No, he did not.
He gave the first gospel promise, right? The proto
Mhm.
evangelion, to use fancy words, and
The first gospel.
the first gospel, yeah, Genesis 3:15,
Mhm.
where he promised that a child would be
Mhm.
born of woman. So
Mhm.
right there is Christmas already in Genesis 3, right? The
Mhm.
promise of a virgin birth, a
Yes.
child, a boy coming from a woman who would crush the head of the serpent
Mhm.
and really restoring
Mhm.
our relationship with God. So
Yeah.
this union and communion that was ruptured by
Mhm.
this forbidden feast will
Mhm.
be overcome,
Be restored.
be restored
Yeah.
by a child born of a
Mhm.
woman,
Mhm.
and that has already occurred, hasn't it, Deaconess?
It has
Yeah.
in the most amazing,
So so
mysterious
so,
way.
so God taking matters into His own hands.
He does.
What does God do?
Yeah. God enters. God, who is eternal, not bound by space and time. He enters into space and time, our space and time. The one who created everything becomes a creature, and in a very specific way, being born of the Virgin Mary. I mean, being carried 9 months in his mother's womb, and
Yeah,
then
they talk about like limiting yourself.
yes,
Yeah, he boxes himself in the womb.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Being born of the Virgin Mary, and then having a specific guardian, Joseph, who care. They both care for him, feed him, burp him,
Yeah,
change his diapers.
the diaper deity, God in diapers. That is something to think about.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
actually having to like learn his ABCs
Mm-hmm.
and his arithmetic. 2 + 2 = 4.
Mm-hmm. Well done.
Yeah, I gotta do that math. That's as far as I can go. I would never have been a NASA, scientist.
Yeah.
I would
Yep.
not be the guy that's going to the moon.
Mhm,
No, because
mhm.
I don't do math very well.
Same here.
I can do biblical numbers about it.
Mm-hmm.
7,
Exactly.
8, 12, 40.
24. Yeah.
Three.
Exactly.
Oh, can't forget
Mhm.
3.
Nope.
Let's have a biggie number.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Jesus in the temple, boy Jesus, right?
Yes. Yeah. Listening to and growing in wisdom,
Yes,
and
yeah.
listening to teachers in a specific place
And his
at
parents.
the temple.
He's
Yes.
sinless.
Yes.
He's a sinless boy listening to his sinful parents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
That's a big limit. Oh
Yeah, woo.
man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Talk about humility.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then as Jesus continues to grow and then go into his ministry, he limits himself to 12 apostles to learn from him and to follow him. He, as he's walking around Galilee and in the Middle East, a specific place in the world, not just anywhere in the world, he's healing people, but not everyone. He's not healing the entire world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, he walks to Jerusalem and has the limits of Holy Week, of being, tried in a kangaroo
Bound.
trial and bound. Yeah. And then mocked and beaten, and then stripped naked and stapled to the cross and dying. And then
that's kind of limited.
yeah.
Being like pounded through with nails.
Mm-hmm.
Pinned to the cross.
Exactly. Yeah.
Propped up like a scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean I'm talking about limited.
Mm-hmm. And then placed in I guess you could say the ultimate limit, in the ground. Placed in a grave.
From womb to tomb.
Mm-hmm.
He shows us what it means to be human.
Mm-hmm.
God becoming man so that man can be man. Because
Mm-hmm.
the problem in the garden is man tried to be
God.
And here God becomes man,
Mm-hmm.
a creature,
Mm-hmm.
so that he can actually live that perfect life of limits for you, for me, for Deaconess, for everybody. And then die the death we deserve to die for all those times we tried to live limitlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Lives without limits, trying to be God.
Mm-hmm.
Just, doing whatever we think but doing whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
Living without limits.
Mm-hmm.
Just blowing through the stop signs.
Yeah. Live as if God did not matter and I mattered most.
Yeah, as we confess. Yeah, in confession. And he does that so that he can rise on Easter morning, so that he can open to us really a life of living as God's creatures. This broken relationship now restored, and he fills us with his unlimited love to share that unlimited love in our lives that are limited.
Yeah.
In specific homes, specific congregations, specific schools, where we're surrounded by, real faces, real flesh and blood people, people who have real stories, real backgrounds, real hurts, real hobbies, real joys.
Real sorrows.
Real suffering. And so I think of us, and you're not called to be deaconess to the world.
No.
You're not called to be pastor to the world. Now there might be some pastors and deaconesses that do that.
Oh man.
But no, we're called to be, pastor and deaconess to 303 Ruth Street. To the saints here.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're born, like you were saying, as a Shion, born into a specific family. I'm born into a specific family. So specific parents to love and honor and pray for. Not everyone's my parent, but Rick and Kathy are.
Yeah, and Barb and Tom are my parents. And I have a baby brother who's taller than I am, and her baby broters are taller than she is. So we have that in common.
Yep. Yes, we do.
I have to look up to my baby brother. Yeah. Playing basketball with him was not always the funnest. He could stuff me all the time. Man, rejection. So our lives are limited, and we're to embrace that. That's what it means to be a creature. To trust the Father and to really just enjoy the folks he has surrounded us with, and to live in those those homes and those congregations, those high schools, those neighborhoods where he has placed us, to share this unlimited love that he actually shares with us in a very specific place, right? Through words, water, bread, and wine. He touches us with this unlimited love in absolution. He washes us with this unlimited love in holy baptism. He stuffs us full of this unlimited love in the Lord's Supper. And he does that so that we can now go and share that unlimited love in the lives that are limited.
Yeah. With specific people, like you were saying.
Yeah.
With names, faces, backstories, all of that. Yeah. Unlimited love.
Yeah, so for us, we call this episode Stop Signs, but now talking about this unlimited love and going to share it. I mean, really, it's not, now it's really like a green light. Yeah.
Green light means go.
We can do it. Yeah, because we have this God who shares his unlimited love in Christ Jesus, and what it means to be human is to really just to live as God's creature, rejoicing in where he's plopped us down, and it's really our Garden of Eden. Where God has plopped us down. That is our Garden of Eden here in this life, where we are to care for the needs of others. To love with a love that has no strings attached, a love that covers a multitude of sins, a love that is patient, a love that doesn't a love that expects nothing in return, a love that is for the loveless. Those who are unworthy of love. A love that really just it really is for all the folks that God has placed around us. A love that turns the other cheek. A love that really is for all.
Yeah, exactly. I still think of the hymn, "Love to the loveless shown, that they might lovely be." Yeah.
Beautiful. So children, receive that unlimited love.
Yep.
As a creature, God's creature, in word, water, bread, and wine, and green light it. Right? Go and share that unlimited love in your life that is limited, and that's okay. That's what it means to be a creature.
Yeah.
And just really just enjoy the sharing of this unlimited love with the very people God has surrounded you with. For it is better to give than to receive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So until next time. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
So glad to have you.
Yeah, so glad. Yep. By his wounds,
We are healed.
yep. Toodles.
Tschüss.